As the room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit the like, share this content, let a friend or that neighbor know where to go. Let me know if the audio straight, ladies and gentlemen, before we get this thing on and popping. Come on. The name is Law Nation. Life like this, I wish raindrops would fall. Come on. Life like this, I wish. Cowboys, NFL MVP, and OPOY. Time. DPOY. Plus, Dak Prescott should demand a trade from your ears. Come on. Scenario base. Come on. Let's go, baby. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alrighty then. Cowboy Nation, so much stuff is happening around the globe, and we are still torn. We torn because we should be playing this weekend, but life doesn't work that way. You got to earn it to be there. Nothing is given to you. And we're going to go over a few things. Shout out to the people that's tuning in. Be sure to hit the like, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when it's time to tune in to, as my guy BJ Nix would say, as the star turns, right? 105.3 The Fan. They talked about the scenario base of Dak Prescott being traded, or why he should demand a trade. And we're going to talk and listen to those type of conversational pieces, right? And on top of that, the Philadelphia Eagles, they want some of the Cowboys. They want to be just like us, man. They do. News and notes out there is that they are bringing in Kellen Moore for an interview. Salute to Kellen Moore, man. It is a crazy situation as the world turns, right? Also, the AP associations, I believe they came out with their listings of MVP talk, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year. And let me see if I can pull that up. I appreciate everybody, man, for rocking with the nation. The off season is where you really get your work in at, right? And you know, Law Nation, I'm not going to do any fabrications of the news. The news is being reported. I'm just going to talk about it. I don't create it. I just talk about what's already being reported. So that's just how it is. So I ain't no breaking news dude. I ain't that dude at all, but I am a realistic person, right? So we're going to talk about the realism sides of it as well while I get everything situated here. Bear with me while we build the plane as we fly, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new here, I appreciate you. If you are new here, we really do appreciate each and every last one of you all. But there is levels of respect here, and all we ask for your respect is to hit the like, share this content, and then comment. We want y'all to comment. We want to keep those interactions going and keep that algorithm going for your boy, whether it's good or bad. 2023 Associated Press NFL Awards finalists. I know that there's much to do about nothing. I don't know how they correct this list, by the way. I don't know if this is just rankings or this is just their actual final list right here for the finals. You got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, CMC, Dak Prescott, and Brock Purdy. We've been talking about these guys for a minute. Now, it's crazy because on this first list, MVP, if you have two names up there for one team, in the MVP run, that means that, hey, that person really not the MVP, right? So you can just scratch out Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy because you can't have two names up there. That means your team is really good. Well, it'll be nice if we had two of them up there. If we had a Christian McCaffrey on our side and a Dak Prescott, boy, we'll be still playing right now. So if you have two names, you can go ahead and scratch out Brock Purdy and you can scratch out Christian McCaffrey, right? And then if you look at Lamar Jackson, his name is standalone, Josh Allen standalone, and on top of that, Dak Prescott standalone. So it should be those three names right there as far as MVP. Now, Offensive Player of the Year, you got Tyreek Hill, you got Lamar Jackson name there again, and then you have C.D. Lamb, CMC, and Dak Prescott. I'm looking at it from this aspect of it. It should be a toss-up between Tyreek Hill and C.D. Lamb. I think that those two boys had an unbelievable year. And if you're looking at it from those aspects, you got to say to yourself, man, Tyreek Hill, from what he did from a screen pass, and he got hurt down the stretch, house burned down, a whole bunch of other stuff happened. You got to lean it. I'm a Cowboy diehard fan, but you probably had to lean on giving that Offensive Player of the Year, man, to my guy Tyreek Hill in them. Defensive Player of the Year, y'all see that? Can y'all see that? You got DeRon Bland, you got Max Crosby, you got Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, T.J. Watt. Hey, man, I'm biased a little bit, you know. I'm biased a little bit, man. Look, 9 INTs and all of those pick sixes, man, you got to give some type of a reward for that, man. Award for that. It got to be DeRon Bland at this point. Yeah, it got to be DeRon Bland, you know. Look, I get it. Everybody say, hey, Lord, they ain't play nobody. That's why they were able to get there. Well, excuse me. If that's the case, then that record should always be broken every year because we ain't the only team that don't play anybody. Shouldn't that be the situation in some scenario, right? So that should be the thing right there. Go ahead, man, because what TJ, Parsons, Miles, and all of the other guys, we seen those type of things happening before, but nobody's seen what DeRon Bland been doing, man. And, hey, Just go ahead because we've seen years like Max Crosby. We've seen years like Myles Garrett. We've seen years like Micah Parsons. But nobody ever seen a year like DeRon Bland. So regardless of it, that's my guy right there. Coach of the Year, you got Dan Campbell. You got John Harbaugh. Let me see if I can squeeze this down so y'all can see it all together. All right, so y'all can see all of that. I'm giving Coach of the Year to DeMeco Ryans. And then the second guy in that particular lineup will be Dan Campbell. And then maybe Kevin, and then you can look at John Harbaugh, and then Kyle Shanahan. That would be my order. You have to acknowledge what the Texans been doing, even though their fans are kind of weird, though, you know, we give praises where praises are belonging, and you got to give it to DeMeco Ryans. For some reason, the only reason why I call Texans fans weird is because we over here, we've been supporting the Texans, right? We don't even talk bad about them or anything like that, but they want to talk bad about us. They done fell into the role of, hey, they going to be the /Eagles /Texans. Like, nah, man, we've been supporting them, man, you know, but it's a whole nother storyline. Salute to DeMeco Ryans. I think he did a great job. His rookie was his first year coaching there, right? First year coaching there and had a first year quarterback and doing all type of crazy good stuff. Well, first or second year, however long he's been there. I like what DeMeco Ryans been doing, and he did a great job, man. And I think that he identifies with the Texans and what they needing, and I think he did a great job all year. Bouncing back. See, a lot of people praise you when you're winning, but it's about what you do also when you're losing. And he kept his head straight, and he did a great job, y'all. So salute to my guy, DeMeco Ryans, you know. And then on the second side of it, assistant coaches of the year, you got Ben Johnson, you got Mike McDonald, Todd, you got Jim Swartz, you got Bobby Slowick. I'm looking at Ben Johnson for what he was able to do with the Lions. I think that was great. Salute to him. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I know that that's going to be more of a quarterback role right there. They may give it to C.J. Stroud, but you got to look at what Jahmyr Gibbs was able to do from a running back perspective. The whole argument, would you rather have Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs? And y'all knew I was Team Jahmyr. Shout out to him, Roll Tide and all of that good stuff. But Bijan was nice. Puka, he did a great job. Nakua, I think that he should be in the mix there. Sam Laporta, I think that he was great for what he was able to do in that particular system. They got him working, boy. They worked that Sam Laporta. I would go in this list CJ and then Jahmyr and then Puka. CJ, Puka, then Jahmyr. That's my order right there. Shout out to you, Jose. Appreciate you. Thank you for jumping in. Ban said it should be Puka, man, you know. But, man, you got to look at it, man. CJ and Puka. It's crazy. CJ and Puka could have been on the same team. That's crazy. Ain't that right, Jonathan Taylor? Appreciate you. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Kobe Turner, man. If you look at what he was able to do, I know that a lot of people, a lot of folks will say, man, but what Jaden Collar did, Jaden Collar. But Kobe Turner, man, let me tell y'all, let me pull up his stat line for your mind. Kobe Turner, from a rookie. 11 sacks, man. We could have drafted Kobe Turner, man. Hey, come on, man. We could have. What round did Kobe went to, man? You know, I mean, Jalen Carter, he gonna get the hypes, but man, that Kobe Turner, man. Every time I looked up, man, I was sitting here like, man, come on, man. That dude right there, shoo. I know, and Jalen Carter, shout out to him, but let me say it like this. He ain't no Kobe Turner, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, Jalen Carter had 6 or 7 sacks from the interior, man, but y'all look up Kobe, man. Look up Kobe. I ain't talking about Bryant, but look up Turner, man. Let me pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up around here for everybody, man. Man, life like this, I wish raindrops would fall. Shoot. Hey, the last time, don't y'all know what we would have been able to do if we were able to get 11 of them from Mozzie? Shoot. Boy, we'll be kicking down some doors and stuff, man. Shoot, he was with the 89th pick. Hey, I would take Kobe. I'll take Kobe over Dalton. What's his name is? Not Dalton Schultz. Luke Schoonmaker, man. Give me him. Hey, shit. Give me him, man. Give me that dude, Kobe, man. Shoot. The 91st pick, man. God, dog, man. Shout out to Overshawn. He was our 3rd round draft pick, right? And we will see Overshawn this year. But, man, you know, let me tell y'all something, man. This draft, man, this draft is crazy, y'all. This draft is crazy. But I think he went to Wake Forest, right? What school he went to? Well, Wake Forest. I remember looking at some film, and I remember a few of you guys was like, hey, Lord, check out this dude, Kobe Turner, man. And I salute to y'all, man, because y'all can hear me still? Y'all can hear me still? Bobby Ward says he lost audio, but can y'all hear me still? Hey, let's say that Trey Benson, nice. Yeah, he nice. He's nice. But yeah. That dude right here, audio good. Just making sure, man. Boy. Shoot. I don't know, man. We could talk about defensive schemes. We can talk about schematics. We can talk about philosophies and principles and things like that. But we just need a blessing, man. You know, show of hands. Have anybody ever said, man, I just need a blessing? I just need a blessing, man. And I think that last year's draft, it could be a blessing in disguise, but every single pick it seems as if though we have to all wait and see. Normally, it takes 3 years to grade a draft. That's what the mighty Bill Parcells said. But we kind of looking at this last year draft like, man, we just need a blessing, man. We need Awesome Richards, man, for this 2024 season to make us all wrong, right? Right. To make us think like, man, that dude was pretty good. And we need for Mozzie, man, to turn into our Justin Matabuke. You know what I'm saying? He had 14 sacks, and it took him 4 years to get there, right? But at least in his third year, he had 6 or 7, So hopefully, down the stretch that these guys that we drafted this past season, that they can turn into a blessing for us, right? But one thing I can tell you, that T.J. Bass, look, we can't sneeze on him. He was an undrafted guy, and he looked real good, y'all. He looked real good, and I can't wait to see what his second year is going to be. So we're not going to beat up the front office, but as I was talking to Aisha about 3 weeks ago, and she said that basically, we probably came into this draft, and she was just speaking openly, and it's not beating up anybody, overconfident, right? Sometimes you can do that. You can go into a draft and you can be overconfident in yourself, and these are the results that could happen. I talked to Jesse Holley. He said he likes Deuce Vaughn, and he think the world of Deuce Vaughn. But those DNPs for him and Eric Scott, it don't look good, because now all of those guys, every single person that we drafted outside of Mozzie, because I think he had the most snaps or reps or what have you out of everybody, would be considered a red shirt year. They really didn't play as much. Outside Schoonmaker, he played a little bit. He had 2 touchdowns. But we seen that Schoonmaker was more forced in there, and he had some no business being in the game at certain games, right? We can try to put some lipstick on the pig and say, hey, he blocked pretty well, man. He's a good blocker. Jalen Brooks, Rocks was like, Rock said Jalen Brooks was good this year. Jalen Brooks, to me, had an unbelievable training camp. And when his name was called to play, he didn't wet the bed. I can give him that. He performed a whole lot better than Jalen Tolbert rookie year, right? So it is what it is. Marquise Bell was a guy that was undrafted last year, right? This is his second year. Let me know if I'm right. Shout out to you, Francisco, for the 50 stars. Appreciate you, man. So I know a lot of people came here. We got close to 300 folks that's watching right now, and let me know if everything is straight. We're going to go ahead and dive into some of this conversational piece of what the 105.3 The Fan was talking about. And this not to beat them up. They are going over the same thing that we finna go over, and that is the Dak Prescott deal, And I got to preface this for some strange reason, because a lot of people, they'll jump in and they would think that either Law Nation turned on Dak, or Law Nation is an anti-Dak guy. And then we have a third of the people that selective listening that will say, hey, Law Nation is a Dak Prescott apologist. No, I want to win. If it's a situation where is JV boy, if he can be a better quarterback for this team, then I'll try to promote JB boy, right? Or Patrice that's in the chat, man. If she can all of a sudden be the first female football player and be better than Dak, then I'll try to promote her. I'll speak glowingly, like, look how she climbed the pocket. Look how she goes through her progressions, man. And the ball hit the receiver right in between the numbers. Let's promote Patrice. That's how I look at it. But if it's a situation and scenario, we talking about $60 million. I'm not finna cut my nose off to spite my face. I'm not finna just get rid of a quarterback and then walk in there blindly with a Cooper Rush and a Trey Lance, who really don't even have a lot of college experience, and for y'all to think that he should have pro experience. That's just not how it works. So I'm looking at it from this aspect of it. Look, if you're going to hold on to Dak, Just know that this is his final ride. And he got to outperform his last season, which is crazy because he's in the conversation pool of an MVP. That's crazy. You know, let me show the list one more time. Y'all want to cut a guy? He would be the first quarterback ever in the history to be an MVP candidate that teams would say, hey, man, the own fan base say crucify him, cut him off, shank him with the butter knife. Man, matter of fact, put that butter knife down. Go give me the machete, shank him with that. No, that's crazy. But I guess we the only fan base that do that. Chris says, I forgot about Hunter Lupke. Yeah, Hunter. I think that Hunter needs another chance here. More opportunities. Yeah. I agree with that. Let's listen to these guys.
Something like this. Inevitably, what we get is like, you guys clickbait, and why are you even suggesting? This is under the scenario. We're not suggesting trading Dak Prescott. That's not what you're. I mean, Choppy may be about to suggest that. But what this is like Jeff Saturday is talking about a scenario where Dak says, I am done.
Yeah.
And I want to go. And that would honestly be what it would have to take because he has a no trade clause. He would pick where he wants to go.
Which you think he would do and demand and say if they did not go ahead and give him this next extension, make him wait it out.
I don't know that he would demand a trade, but I do think that if he was exposed to the open market, then he would leave. I don't think he's coming. I do feel like that. I feel like if you don't get an extension done, you let him run out, he is leaving. Yeah. That's what I think is happening.
Before we dive into this, who has the right here? Who has more right to have the feeling of, no, you owe us? Do the Cowboys have more of a right now to say to Dak, you maybe had the worst playoff performance of a quarterback and worst playoff loss in the history of our franchise. You couldn't get us to round 2. You need to be swallowing your pride a little bit and not getting $60 million. Or is it?
No. Right? When you are given the tools that the Cowboys were given, these are the things. If you hire a contractor and normally he digs the ditch with a crane, but you only provide the shovels, then you're going to have to sit back and say, hey, this is the levels of results that he's going to give you, the shovel level. But if you allow this man to have the crane, or the thing that, and I know cranes don't dig ditches, that's just me using an analogy, but if you allow him the better tools, then the dude with the better tools going to win it. That's just how it is, y'all. And I'm not saying that Dak Prescott wasn't privy to any weapons, but in the playoffs, we didn't have a legitimate run game. We didn't have the full plate of food that everybody else had. And I know somebody's erroneous. Shout out to you, Rev. But here's the truths of it. There will be people that say, hey, man, those excuses, right? Hey, man, those excuses, man. You got to think of it just like that, right? Because at the end of the day, a determined person with a spoon can dig a ditch faster than a man can with the shovel, right? And I get all of that. But we have to understand that with that guy with that spoon, it's going to take a whole lot of work efforts for him to dig that ditch versus the person with the shovel. Right? Excavators. Appreciate you, dig ditches. Yeah, Justin D. Appreciate you, man. My guy Justin D. He knows about it. So the excavators, right? So we are not comparing apples to apples. So everybody else get an excavator, and the Cowboys say, hey, man, we can give you a shovel. And here you go. Dig it. We want the same results. Taylor says, okay. He says, look what Joe Burrows did. Ooh, see Taylor. Now I love you, man. I love you. God, I thank you so much, Taylor. Taylor says Joe Burrows look what he took to the Super Bowl. And I'm so glad. I didn't think I'd get a layup just quickly, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's play this game. So you saying that Joe Mixon, the year that they made it to the Super Bowl, was on the kind of caliber of runner that my guy Tony Pollard had. Did you look up what Joe Mixon was able to do behind that same porous offensive line? Okay, because Joe Mixon, he's a different style and kind of caliber of runner. In that year, he had 200. Here you go. I'll pull it up right here. See if y'all can see it. He had 292 carries, 1,205 yards that season in 2021. They waited to the Super Bowl. Their defense was really top 5 that year. People fail to realize that. And on top of that, did y'all see how many touchdowns? He averaged 4.1 yards per carry, per tote, and he had 13 touchdowns. Were we able to get this type of production from, dare I say, a Tony Pollard? Was he able to average 4.1 yards per tote? Did he have a Chase and a Higgins too? No. Give me Higgins. Give me Higgins. Let me look. I'm gonna say this, and he had 16 total touchdowns. B.D. Gray said that year. Was Tony Pollard? See, that's what a lot of people look at. Because a lot of people say that Cincinnati Bengals offensive line was in shambles. But it's crazy to me that they were able to get 16 total touchdowns out of this dude right here, because he had 13 rushing and I believe how many receiving. Yeah. He had 3 receivings. Yeah. 3 receiving. So 16 total touchdowns. How far? Let me look up Tony Pollard. Let me see how much he had. And it's coming off of an injury. This coming off of an injury of Tony Pollard. And I'm not saying that Tony Pollard is trash or what have you. But I'm just saying, though, you had a guy, okay, he had 6 rushing touchdowns, and he averaged 4 yards. So 4 versus 4.1, that's probably equivalent the same. And he had more carries, too. So Joe Mixon had 292. This dude had 252. That's damn near over 40 more carries. So let's see what he had in the receiving touchdown. Oh, he had no receiving touchdowns. Yeah. Let me see. Explosive runs, 21. Let me see how many Joe Mixon had that year in 2021. Explosive run. So he had 26. So it's a difference of 5. And then, of course, if you look at how many running attempts, he had way more. 41 forced missed tackles. I'm not even talking about the quarterback. Forced missed tackle, 41. All right. And let me go over to my guy Tony Pollard. How many forced missed tackles he had? 46. So we're not splitting atoms here. But man, I don't know what you've been told, but 10 more touchdowns is better, I heard. Live right, live right. Joe Mixon had 10 more touchdowns. 10 more touchdowns than Tony Pollard. 10 more. And I'm just saying, man, let's do 10 times, look, 7 or 6. If we do 10 times 6, that's 60 more points, man. That's 60 more points. Give me that any day. Give me that.
Dak on the other side saying, I had a top 2 MVP season for you. 12 wins again. Dealt with a new head coach, new scheme, or different change in the language. Top scoring offense. You owe me that $60 million. Which side do you think? I know what the fans are going to say. The fans are going to text, no, Dak should eat it a little bit, and he should swallow his pride because he can't get it done and get this team to the second round, or at least didn't this year. I'm just curious, before we get into this Falcons fun scenario, what you think of that.
I mean, neither one has strong footing today. Right? The team doesn't have strong footing to say you need to take a pay cut, and Dak doesn't have strong footing based on this, like the way the season ended. I don't
right. Sure,
like,
based on the reality of the market.
Yeah,
he has all
I'm not talking about the leverage.
Right.
I'm talking about based on the most recent events.
Yeah.
I mean, Denver made Manning take a pay cut the last year. You want to come back, you have to take a pay cut. Like that was it, and like now Dak is not in that situation, but there's an element to neither one of these two have a whole lot. Like neither one has solid footing with the fan base today.
Right.
It's not Jerry. It's not Mike. It's not Dak. It's not Steven. I mean, it's who is on the most solid footing of anybody on that in that team? I couldn't even answer that.
Not Micah.
It's not Mike.
Hey, they do have a point there when we start talking about nobody can actually demand X, Y, and Z, because from one end, that's why it should be like a thief in the night. The signing of Dak Prescott, whether or not they extend him or not, it should be just like this, y'all. We got breaking news. The Dallas Cowboys decided to extend Dak Prescott for blah, blah, blah years, you know. It should be one of those news, or news out of Frisco, Texas. The Dallas Cowboys decided to not extend Dak Prescott and let him play out his final year of his contract. They shouldn't even go back and forth with this, because what's going to happen that is going to still create this great divide between Cowboy fans and as well as those who only support Dak Prescott. The whole nine is going to be nasty regardless. This is going to be, you know how when the meteor people, you know, the weather people, when they start talking about there's a storm coming, if we fool around and let this fester out, there's going to be this storm approaching. Hey, man, it's approaching. It's going to be mud slinging, SHIT slinging, everything, bro. So the best thing for it to be is for all of a sudden, you know, we just wake up one day and we say, oh, wait a minute. Justin Herbert that's how it happened for them. They didn't go back and forth. It was like Justin Herbert, breaking news. He got paid $250 million. $250 million. And people was like, hey, he haven't won a playoff game. He haven't won a hockey game. He haven't won a spade game. He haven't won a domino game. But he get $250 million. Right? I mean, God, dog. And then even with Deshaun Watson, he the one that kicked off everything. He got caught up with massage chairs and parlors and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, he get traded like a thief in the night. Not only did Cleveland Browns sign Deshaun Watson, they gave that brother $250 million. Kyler Murray, people were saying that he was running around like a toddler. Have y'all seen a playoff game Kyler Murray won? Have y'all seen a freeze cup tournament or anything? Who can freeze a freeze cup better? You know, and he got paid $250 million, right? It was just like all of a sudden we woke up one day and he got paid. And then they put in his contract, hey, you got to start learning how to read and write. I was like, wait a minute. They didn't put that on the front end? They didn't talk about that? Y'all remember? They said Kyler Murray couldn't read nor write too. Let me know if I'm wrong. You know, come on. So the Cowboys going to have to pick up that approach, because regardless, there's going to be a lot of people that's not going to like that exchange. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Let's listen to more of these guys. Yeah.
Maybe it's CD.
Ferguson.
That's who it
my
is.
boy, my boy Ferg.
Old Ferg.
Him and Haley.
Yeah, look, it's the reality, obviously, of leverage is it's Dak. But I mean, even if you just look at from a perspective of who's earned it more, like without market considerations, it's still Dak.
Shout out to you, Ray
like
K.
in terms of who's got the more, because to him, it's like I can sit this out, I can ride this out. I'm getting paid regardless. So you owe me, you owe convincing me, because I'll find it on the open market next year. I will find this. Ooh. I'll get paid in the end regardless. This is all about you guys and taking care of things. If you want to make some sort of like moral stand, go ahead. That doesn't harm me like it harms you. You owe me more than I owe you anything.
Okay. What do y'all think? 877-881-1053, truckwreck.com, text line. Pepe is a diehard Cowboy fan. What's your answer to that? Oh, wait, you owe me. I don't owe you. Your performance, round one, are you kidding me? Or Dak, I performed enough with 12 wins You are going to owe me.
I mean, the sample size is bigger. Yeah, like I said before, he's going to go down as having one of the best regular season records in the history of the franchise, history of the NFL, but you got to perform in the postseason. That's what I want to see. You didn't hire McCarthy just to, get him to the playoffs. You hired to be better than Jason Garrett. You have to do that. You have to perform better in the postseason. Right now, Dak's just a regular season quarterback.
No. Because he is clearly better. Mike McCarthy is clearly better than Jason Garrett. And they did hire Mike McCarthy so that we can get to the playoffs. Remember, this new goals. Y'all acting like every year we were going to the playoff with Jason Garrett. No, it was, remember? Win one year, lose a year. Win one year. It don't matter what lined up, man. It was even and odds, odds and evens. I think only the odd years or only the even years we get to the playoffs. Odd years, we can go cancel that out. No matter how the offseason looked. 2013, maybe. Now 2014, yeah, we going to the playoff, dog. Hey, man, watch. We going to run it back. Y'all watch what we going to do. And then 2015, look, the craziest thing of it all we needed in 2014 was the 2015 defense. But we never could get that defense because it happened a year later, right? So, hey, we get 2015, we get the number 2, number 3 defense. We had the number 3 or the number 2 running attack, but we had no quarterback. Quarterback get hurt. And then in 2016, hey, man, this is going to be our year again. It's a back even year. It was literally that. 2017, we couldn't figure out a way to get back to the playoff. Ezekiel Elliott, an innocent man, gets suspended for 6 games. Either he's going to play a game or he's going to not play a game. The craziest thing that nobody talk about, for Ezekiel Elliott to get suspended in 2017, it was something that he did in 2015. Conduct unbecoming of what he did to a lady, allegedly. So you mean to tell me he went through a whole year of 2016 with those same acquisitions never brought to light, but it didn't affect him until 2017 after we done exemplified or showcase what he was able to do far as a running attack. Zeke never been the same person. Let me know if I'm lying. They didn't bring up the stuff that he did in 2016 because he was playing for the Cowboys. Allegedly, they brought up stuff that he did while he was in college in 2015. That's crazy. For 6 games, we went 9-7 in 2017. Do you think that he would have been a +1 or 2? Yeah. Johnny Duncan said, yeah, something that he allegedly did in Ohio State. So he did something in Ohio State. The Cowboys played the whole year. He's in Dallas. Then they went back and said, okay, we're going to get him for something that he did in college. Whereas Tyreek Hill, just to give y'all this analogy, or transferable stuff that don't happen to any other team, Tyreek Hill, you don't even have to put a ledge in front of it. Literally punch his girl in the stomach while she was pregnant. And they don't even look at that tape. Frank Clark did something more egregious. But yet they would tell us, Cowboy fans, just talking about excuses. That's crazy. I can't make this stuff up. So, yeah, man, we public enemy number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I can't make this stuff up. And so the thing is with Dak Prescott, the last time he saw the open market was in 2016 too, by the way. We drafted Charles Tapper before we drafted Dak. He was an afterthought. You know what I'm saying? Then it was like, okay, all right, we'll take a shot in the dark for Dak Prescott. I can't make this stuff up. But who have more leverage right now? Right now, Dak Prescott still have the most leverage. And I don't care what nobody say. that $60 million paycheck, shoot, he looking at it like, all right, cool. Say what you want. It's on y'all. I'm getting paid regardless. I'm getting paid regardless. But if y'all don't do right by me, then I can force to ask for the trade. But let's listen to this dude.
Well said.
Mackenzie's going to have him wearing Eagles gear any day now.
All right, let's get into the scenario with the Falcons that
All right.
Jeff Saturday suggested.
Okay, so he said the Falcons. So the Falcons have the 8th selection in the draft this year.
Right.
So
Same
let's
pick they had
say
last year for Bijan. Same pick they had last year for Bijan.
Bijan.
So let's say Dak says to Jerry, I want to be traded to Atlanta. All right, Jerry gets on the phone, calls up Arthur Blank, and says, all right, Art, let's build something together.
Which those two,
That's what he said.
important to note, those
I got
two
it.
do not get along.
They don't?
Arthur Blank and Jerry Jones, no.
Jerry's a big Lowe's guy.
What?
They went to war over the Goodell extension.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, interesting.
Because Arthur wants to keep Cokes at $1.50. And
No,
Jerry
because
wants to charge
Jerry
$12
tried to dig in, wanted to, all right, the way he penalized Ezekiel Elliott, I want to hold his feet to the fire. And Arthur Blank led the charge of, like, y'all don't listen to Jerry, and Blank went out, and there's been real tension between those two since.
Woo.
All right, so you tell Arthur, Dak, he's on the market. We want your 8th this year, and we'll take your 1 next year. 2 firsts for Dak is more than fair. Even with...
More than fair.
I mean, that's below market value.
Of course it is, but you have less power, the Cowboys do, because he's requested a trade.
Okay.
Right? So normally Dak should get 3 firsts.
If he's requested a trade, though, there's still the fine. Then our leverage is we hold it from you for a year. You clearly went out now, and we just don't have to grant
Fair.
it.
All right, so 2 1s and a 2. 3 1s. So give it 3 1s. So this year's 1 at 8, and then the next 2 firsts. Fine. You want to do that? Fine. I was just thinking that they weren't going to be able to get fair market value for him because he requested a trade.
What do we have in terms of recent compensation?
I mean, Deshaun Watson is the one, and Watson, which was a worse.
Well. What did the Eagles get for Carson Wentz, right? Because I think they got a first or something like that. And Dak Prescott, we can all argue that Dak Prescott is way ahead of Carson Wentz, man. Come on, man. But 2 first rounds and a swap, so we would get the 8th selection. That's technically 3 picks, though, right? The 8th selection from the Atlanta Falcons. But here's be the thing, though. Why would the world would Dak want to go to Atlanta? You know, there'll be the other thing, too. Like, why would he want to move to Atlanta? You know, what would be so enticing to go there? You know, of course, you can revisit the Bijan Robin, and then you have a legitimate tight end. And I think that they drafted a wide receiver a couple years back. But nah. You can get 2 firsts if he, yeah. Let's see what we can say from here. Oh, boom.
Position to be in potentially. You're talking about trying to trade somebody who's got a
3 1s.
big. He had 3.
Fan base will be nicer though. Shoot, Atlanta fan base. That you think that you know what it was in '98? They were doing the Dirty Bird. Was it '98 or '97? So later they were doing the Dirty Bird with Jamal. Was it 2000 or something like that? They were doing that Dirty Bird dance after they scored. And that was nice, man. Jamal Anderson, I believe, the Dirty Bird, they will have a lot of fun with Dak Prescott in Atlanta. You know, 12-5. And especially you can argue that particular division, of course, they're getting better now, but let's be real. I always look at it like this. The NFC East, we play each other like the SEC, man. We play each other rough and rugged. And technically, I know we are in the NFC East due to the money design as far as the big media. But I always with the belief that the Cowboys should be in that same division that the Atlanta Falcons and the Saints are in. If you really think about it, we are more of a South team than the East team. But I do know how the money align. That I would love for us to be in the NFC South, though. Let's be real with it, y'all. You know, the Carolina Panthers, they don't belong there in that division. They can be in the NFC East. But we do play each other rough and rugged, though. But due to the history of the NFL, we a team that's located in the West, and we have to go all the way to the East. By design and alignment, we shouldn't be in the NFC East. But it is what it is, right? Technically, we shouldn't be in the NFC East. Let's go.
3 1s, a third, and a fifth.
There you go.
If you wanted to do that with the 1 this year, the 3 this year, and the 5 this year, and 2 first-rounders, it would be the 8th pick, 79, 144 this year. So 8, 79, 144, and then a first next year and a first the year after.
Woo! Fine, perfect. Do it. There you go. I don't even care what it is. All I'm worried about is the 8th pick this year. Okay, because you take that 8th pick this year and you couple it with 24, and you're gonna have to add something to this.
You still need a quarterback.
One, take Caleb Williams.
You still need a quarterback.
Chicago does. We don't. They don't even know what they want to do.
We don't think.
We don't think.
We don't know.
Think about how much we've talked recently, though, about the idea of, like, you can see, given the Cowboys' attention and spotlight and everything else, how much mental makeup genuinely does matter, and who you are between the ears matters. Like, if you're going to move up, is that the one you want to take, or would you rather take Drake May?
I don't know. He's the greatest prospect we've ever seen.
I just would never.
According to Rick Spielman.
Mahomes light, baby.
We've never seen.
Hey, shit. Drake might wet the bed on this level. But I will say this, though. If under all of the scrutiny and the chaos that we exhibit over here, if Dak was in the NFC South, if y'all think that he owned the NFC East, that joker will be dominating the NFC South. And on top of that, like the fans and everybody will rally behind him. Shoot. Y'all be mad every Sunday, man. Y'all be like, look at that quarterback, man. He threw for 400 yards, man. We had him on our side at one point. Y'all think I'm crazy, but, man, I'm telling y'all the truth right now, man. I'm telling y'all the truth. And that's the reality, man. Look, y'all be sick to y'all stomach, man. And then for the unknown, remember this. For every Josh Allen, there's a Josh Rosen, too. Or there's a Sam Darnold. You know, y'all think that these guys that's coming out of the draft, that they're going to be like world class. Phoenix, what's that dude name for Washington? Left-handed guy who played in the league. He was 6-year starter, 6-year senior, whatever his name is. You know, he flew around, go to the NFL, and he'll probably look just like he looked like against Michigan. He'll look just like, look, he didn't look that good. And Zach Wilson, yep, for every Michael Phoenix, yeah. He probably, y'all saw what he looked like against Michigan. He didn't look that good, didn't he? Yeah. But I'm just saying, though. Y'all just be patient.
Anything like this? He's better than John Elway.
Specifically here in this building, I've got reservations about Caleb between the ears and his leadership traits. Specifically in this building, I'm not taking Caleb.
Let's put the
Williams.
draft pick aside. Compensation-wise, if that amount came to you, what do you say?
The 3 1s, a 3 and
Phoenix.
a 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you.
You say yes.
Okay.
Because you're getting the 8th pick, so you're going to be able to get, let's just say it's Atlanta, all right? You're going to be able to get a quarterback there at 8.
Okay, and now your other 2 1s down the road, theoretically, they're going to be bottom of the first round, with Atlanta theoretically being good.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
Maybe they are.
Yeah. So
I don't think Atlanta's roster is roster as good as the Cowboys. I don't think it is.
Atlanta,
I know people are just falling all over themselves right now for this Atlanta roster.
Right.
That's winning 7 games a year, but
they just have really impressive skill players. Like, if you can put,
They don't have a quarterback, bro. I seen Atlanta one year. I think it was last year. They beat the 49ers. I think Atlanta did. Did Atlanta last year beat the 49ers? Look, the quarterback would change the whole temperature for the Atlanta. That tight end over there, I forgot his name, the tip of my tongue. Shoot, that we were banging on the table to come over here. He would set all type of record. They got a run game and their defense. Hey, y'all better watch out. Shoot. Cal Pitts, yeah. Cal Pitts will be all pro. Appreciate you. In Atlanta shoot. You had T.I., everybody out there, man, at these games, man. You have Sierra 1-2 stepping at halftime, man. Shoot. Yeah. They got them. They got two of them. Yeah. So we are so starved for greatness here that we would eat our own over here. I mean, Joe Burrows was wonderful, man, for what he do in Cincinnati land. But Boomer Esiason is the guy that he got to outperform every week and every week in and week out. Right? Shoot. And that's Joe Burrows. He's in Cincinnati. Their greatest quarterback is Boomer Esiason. Shoot. or is it the other dude, Carson Palmer? You know what I'm saying? But in Cowboys land, shoot. Man, people bring him. Danny White, man, look at Danny White, man. Shoot, you got to outperform him and what he was able to do. Shoot. Look at Roger, man. Look at Roger Staubach. You know, look at Troy. Tony Romo. Shh. But these other organizations, man, look. When you go into the media room for the Cowboys, there's about 30 or 40 media outlets. In Atlanta, it'd be 3 or 4. Pressure is a privilege. That's why I was telling people, man, when Dak say, man, bring the pressure, pour honey all over me, stop asking for those things, man. Shoot. No, man, shoot, that's a lot of pressure. You putting yourself in that situation. Don't talk too much over here. No, they remember everything. People got a keen sense of memory over here. Oh, man, I wear the Louis V bags because I want to be in Las Vegas. No, don't give them extra pressure. Just like Parson. Parson finding out the hard way, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me do the edge. I can talk what I want to talk. I can give score predictions of the playoff game, and he'd be the first team out of the playoffs. No. It's a different type of an immense amount of pressure here, and they would take your words and use them against you. Yes, indeed. See that deal that Cincinnati got? What's that backup quarterback, Browning, or what he was able to do in Cincinnati? Right now, if he played for the Cowboys, there'll be a third of the people saying, hey, man, Browning for quarterback, man. He's better, man. Hey, y'all saw what he was able to do? What's that quarterback name that filled in that spot for Joe Burrows? People start looking at him like, hey, but see, that's next year's news. But in Cowboy land, people will forever remember him, just like they forever remember Jason Garrett on one Thanksgiving Day. One Thanksgiving Day gave Jason Garrett a lifetime of fame. Fame! Let me know if I'm lying. They gave Jason Garrett a lifetime of fame. Browning, yeah, that's his name. Okay, JV, yeah. One catch, man. Shoot, the Cowboys culture is different, man. You will have a lifetime of fame. If I can just run out there on the field and catch one ball, Law Nation, I'll be like, hey, man, back in 1994, I caught a ball and I wore number XYZ. You'll see me at book signings and everything. Yeah, man, that's that Law Nation dude. Yeah, Scritton. Yeah, that'd be $8.99. Come on, man. Shoot. Yes, indeed, man. So Cowboys is just different, man.
Put a quarterback like that in there with,
more
Bijan
pressure here.
and Algier, and you've got, Drake London and Pitts. Like, they do have really impressive skill players that if they get a quarterback, it all adds up.
Okay, so, but even still, but any time you trade a quarterback for 3 1s, theoretically, the next 2 are going to be at the back end of the.
What if I tell you? What do
you mean?
Like, if you trade a quarterback of Dak's caliber,
sure,
and you get 3 1s,
yes,
theoretically, you're gonna have those next 2 picks at the back end of the draft.
Yes. You're picking in the 20s probably.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea of what Atlanta's trying to do. Now, if I say, you obviously say,
again, this is just a scenario from Jeff Saturday. This is not a current possibility.
No, this is just under the potential of Dak asking for this and wanting to go to Atlanta specifically. But let's say you have 8 and 24 and all that stuff, and instead of packaging, What if you took 8, 24, all these picks, you try and build out depth, and then you just say, a guy who's a free agent, let me just go sign Kirk Cousins.
If you're who?
If you're Dallas. That instead of...
Damn. Hold on, Rico. Rico, come on, man. He said Jesse Holly. That's my guy, Jesse Holly, man. But, yeah, man, shoot. Jesse Holly famous, man. Shoot. Everybody remember Tony Romo had the puncture lung. He caught the pass, you know. He didn't even score the touchdown. But Jesse Holly is a famous guy. He would let you know. He ain't hiding. He would say, man, shoot. He got paid bank. But let him do that for the Chargers, man. You know what I'm saying? Doug Flutie drops back with a puncture lung. He throws it to Jesse Holly. Oh, he catches it to the 30, to the 20. Oh, he's down at the 1. People fail to realize on that 4th and long episode, there was 2 guys. Jesse Holly and it was another dude. We don't even remember that dude's name. I don't know if he finished his career at Walmart or something, at Amazon. You know, he might be working at Payless or something like that. He may be a famous guy. I don't know. But he ain't no Jesse Holly. Shoot. When you put that star and that silver and blue on, man, you forever, man. Look, Isaiah Stanback, he doing a great job. Nate Newton, he doing a great job. Daryl Moose, he doing a great job. You won't forever be remembered, man. All you got to do is make one play, make one highlighted play. I think the worst business deal ever in the last 25 years was Laurent Robinson. He did the worst business decision. Laurent Robinson, all he had to do was just come back to the Cowboys, but he said, you know what, I'm going to take this extra $4 to $5 million, went to Jacksonville. We don't even know where he's at now. But if Laurent Robinson would have stayed with the Cowboys, shoot, there'll be a statue somewhere out there next to Sky Mirror. Laurent Robinson, you know, the greatest unknown guy that ever played for the Cowboys.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
Y'all let me know, man. Let me know if I'm lying.
Using that draft capital on a quarterback, you just say, hey,
Shout
let's
out
go
to
Cousins,
Laurent
let's
Robinson,
see what we
though.
have in Lance, and then...
No, because I have the same thing as Dak, kind of. I think
out.
Dak is better
Right, but
than
if you had Dak in the 8th pick, isn't that intriguing?
This whole thing to me is about you only do all this stuff to reset with the hope of a better quarterback and
A cheaper one.
and a cheaper one.
Yeah.
That's what this is about. I'm not staying the same at quarterback. I'm either hitting big or missing big. That's what this is about. It's about finding, you know, if Caleb Williams, you know, is Mahomes light. Now, Bobby, you are going to get put on the spot here. And you have to answer this question. You have to, and I want you to answer it seriously.
I always do.
Okay.
Oh, his name is Andre. I see somebody go find Andre Hawkins. Hawkins was the guy. Oh, he works with ESPN. Salute to Andre Hawkins, man. Okay, so he had a luxurious career. He's doing better than Jesse Holly, man. My bad. Shout out to him then, you know. But my guy, 4th and 1, man, 4th and long is a whole lot, you know, recognizable than Andre Hawkins, you know what I'm saying? Hawkins or whatever it may be. Appreciate you. And the other similar story right now is Cedric Wilson, right? He's the similar Laurent Robinson type of deal. Not saying that Cedric Wilson had options here, but you put Ceddy back on the Cowboys. Watch how his name and his fame grows even crazier than what it did in Miami land, you know. Salute to Miami, but he ain't the same Ceddy over there. Shoot, Cedric Wilson over here, shoot.
You do not. You never do. You have to give me a draft haul that you would do this for in this scenario to trade your boy. You got to give me the exact comp of what you would say yes to if you were the Cowboys.
Like under a scenario where
Three
Dak has already asked for it.
Yes.
So he already wants out. He's made up his mind. He wants out. He's asked for it. So what am I willing to
Take
make
back?
that? I'd probably take that Atlanta.
You would do 3-1s.
3-1s, a third and a fifth, if he's asking out. Now, if he's not asking out and you're just saying, let's go, I need more than that.
You need more than that
Yeah.
if you're just picking up the phone to explore.
Yeah, because I'm not going to just reset the quarterback. If he's already made up his mind he wants out, then that's a different question where it's like, okay, this is already soured. We're not going to re-sign him. All right, let's go find this.
I was trying to gauge Dak's trade value when they had me on the fan in DC.
Well,
And they were split. I was like, we sound like spoiled brats. I know I'm on the phone with you guys, sounding like spoiled brats, crying about a 12-win team with a quarterback who's going to finish second or third in MVP because y'all would kill for this. And I was like, y'all would kill for this, right? Like, y'all would trade what it would take to get Dak. One host said yes, one host said no. So I was
3-1's a lot. I mean, that's a lot to give up because usually if you want to get 3-1s, like could you use that 3-1s better and on a quarterback that has more upside, more unknown? It's because you'd be going into year 5th year, 6th year, like year 9. You'd be going to year 9, and there's only been 2 quarterbacks that have gone this far with their original team that have made the Super Bowl, that have not made the Super Bowl and finally made one.
Now let me have a little bit more fun with you, Roberto. Dak Prescott is playing on the Atlanta Falcons with those weapons under Bill Belichick. Their ceiling in the NFC would be, or you would pick them to finish where, roughly?
well, I mean,
Man, before they say anything, and we done with this conversation. Shoot, the ceiling would be Super Bowl. Hey man, that doggone, they would take the Atlanta Falcons would go straight up to the Super Bowl, with a Dak Prescott, and I get it. You know, a lot of people, we look at Dak Prescott from where he's at from a Cowboys legacy, right? And one can argue that they only gonna look at it from this mindset that he can't get it done. He listen to what they said. 12-5. Look, I get it, man. You know, the Jets right now will do anything to get 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. Just from an organizational standpoint. Miami right now, of course, they had a good season this year, but shoot, they would love to have 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. They would love to be in the mix where we were at. Our thing is, how can we get over the playoff hiccups? Well, the only way we can get over it will be, for me, is to say, let's be a well-balanced team. Let's add into the run game. Let's bring in some guys that can take some of this pressure off, and let's stop saying that, hey, the quarterback got to carry the entire team. Yes, indeed. With Drake London, he'll be a dog. Shout out to your action power. Yes. Yeah, man. Look, man, people would love to be in the seat to where we are at. And I'm not saying that we are satisfied. I'm not here to change our mind about that. But we come up with some solutions here. I know that there was fun and gander of them talking about that. And sometimes you have to listen to the outside just to see where you are at as far as your place and settings at. Because there are still people, every comment after we post these videos, just get rid of Dak, and everything else will subside from there. You know, even when I talked about this right here, we had this show last week. Let me play this right quick.
We don't have time for that. I broke that down. We're talking about pre-show
things we need,
and scheme and all that kind of stuff that people don't even talk about when it comes to stuff like that. So for me, you need some front seven people. I'll say front seven, defensive front sevens.
Mr. Law.
Yeah, two things that travel: run game and defense, right? And I'm looking at what our most need is, like you said, linebacker. I want a linebacker that grew up, all he loved watching was Ray Lewis. Grew up, all I want to do is be a linebacker, and I want to be a linebacker since the age of 3 with the linebacker neck and everything. That's all he want to do is say, hey, in the middle of the field, I'm going to be like Ray Lewis. Yeah. I think we need one of those things here. And keep Parsons on the edge if you want to stay there.
6'3".
Let's go!
And I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna say what we need the most is the ability to rise to the occasion, aka motivation and accountability.
He ain't lying.
We don't have time for that. I broke that.
So we're having a group conversation on what is needed with this team. And I said two things that travel: two things travel. Run game, and I'm talking about on the road, or even at the house, man, you get a run game, and if you have defense, those two things that travel. When we talk about front seven, your linebackers are considered part of your what? Front seven. Now, we went over this list. We talked about guys that's pretty much out here on the free agency pool. I'm looking at Chris Jones. He's 29 years of age. If you don't want to pay that money, you pay for what you get. I don't think that we can fall into the graces of getting a Kobe Turner, but hey, that could be a situation there too. I'm looking at interior guys. I'm looking at Justin Matabuke. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at Christian Wilkins, I meant to say. There are guys that you can get, linebackers. You can do that. Before the draft even kick off, the Cowboys can make the small little subtle changes on this particular team to get us over the hump. We are 12-5, not 5-12, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have to clean up everybody everywhere. We don't have to scout the team. But listening so much to that junk news on the 3-ladder, the 4-ladder network, and some parts of our local media, sometimes you would think that we are doomed because of the circumstances we are in. Now, we are in a bad situation. That don't mean it's permanent, but we are in a bad situation. We got a coach who's pretty much on a lame duck year. We got that. There's nothing we can say or do about that because that's how the family operates. And contracting one-on-one, if anybody ever processes contracting, you want to re-up before the end of life of contracts. Because what happened here is that you will overextend yourself when it gets down to the end of life. You will do those things. But if you always want to get in front of it, at least before the contract expires. You always. But when you wait till the last piece of the contract, you exposing that you don't really trust the person that's on the other end of the contract. You don't trust it. And those keys gonna be picking up and like, okay, this person really don't care for me on a contract. Let me know if you guys watching and y'all are in the contracting business. Let me know if you're watching. You say, yeah, I'm in the contracting business. I got this contract. It's a small one. I cut these particular sets of communities of yards, and it's at the end of the contract. And we're about 30 days out. I don't know whether or not they love my services or they're going to re-up my services, but it's kind of weird that they are not willing to have that negotiation standpoint, that they are looking for a better deal. So your guards are going to be up. So the next time you re-up your contract, you still thinking that, oh, man, it must be something that I didn't do. Right. This must be something that I didn't really get into. We got somebody here, Kelly Price says, Law, I do government contracts, right? So if you do government contracts, the first thing that you want to do is be on the vendors list, right? You want to be able to get, when they release those informations, when they request for information, you want to be able to have your team of people to at least be an ability to curate that, to at least put in a proposal and say, these are the services that I can render, or these are the services that my team of people can do. But if you, my friend, is on the outside looking in, you sitting there like, man, I would love to just even be in the conversation. But if you obtain that contract and it's getting to the tail end of that contract and they haven't hit you up for a re-up, now you sitting there like thinking like, what did I do wrong? Oh, man, will I be in the next bidding? That's law, y'all. That's law. That's law 101 of contracting. So when Todd France people saw this happening the last time around. That's why they got those clauses in those contracts. So Dak so that they can have the upper hand of it. So I don't know what the Jones family is going to do. I just don't think. I think it's counterproductive to allow Mike McCarthy to be at his spot that he's at, because it puts a block on people who got to uproot their family to move down this way, right? To say to themselves they're going to buy in. Think about it. The football season is long for us, but for those families, it's very short. For those families, it's very short to move everything within the confines of September, all of those areas of, it's only 4 months, right? Right, basically. Only 4 months of football. You're going to move everything for 4 months and then you can get fired mid-season? No. So we are in that. I got to tell y'all what we are in. We are in that cycle of the Cowboys. Here's the other piece of it before we open up the phone lines and beyond. Why in the last 5 or 6 years, or we can all say 10 years or maybe 15 years, big free agencies, players don't jump over here and run over here? Because they can see how you handle your business. They can see how you handle the Amari Cooper situation. They can see how you handled even the players that's in-house situation. Hey, man, you can yell all you want and say, yeah, man, there's no income, state taxes or state taxes in the state of Texas and all this stuff. But that ain't enough to sway the minds of people. They see how you handled. They saw how you handled that Amari Cooper deal. These people are not blind. They saw how you handled a few things even with Dez Bryant. They saw how you treat your own too. So the Cowboys going to have to really, Cole Beasley, Bryant, yeah, all of them, they are good examples. So that's culture, man. People, at the end of the day, they want to go where a place that they can win, but they ultimately want to go a place where they can have fun, and they want to go where a place that they are respected, right? And if you're not the small things, then bump all of that branding. We can talk about all the time, man, of how these guys can come here and excel and accelerate their careers or what have you, but it can be just as bad when everybody find out, man, how you really handle your business. Word of mouth, man. Why you think people care about what Keith Lee eats? Keith Lee is in Dallas now, man. So whenever I go to restaurants now, I'm reserving this table as Keith Lee. Yes, indeed. They going to get their representation. You really don't get the trueness of people, man, until they see you in the physical form, and right? And they being in the same workhouse as you. So, shoot, I'm reserving all of my tables as Keith Lee. I'm a family member of Keith Lee. Yes, indeed. Oh, yeah. We got some open tables for you, Law. I thought you was Keith Lee. Yeah, yeah. Since he announced that he's going to be in Dallas. Keith Lee, that's who I am, you know. The cousin them. Representation. Hotline for your mind is 657-390-7391 is the hotline. Brought to you by Prize Picks.
Mobbing with my brothers, there's no question, keep it real. Whether we East Coastin' or we in the
First one on the hotline for your mind. We got the 803 Coach Marv. You're live on the Nation. Brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to us, Coach.
What's going on, Law? How you doing, brother? Man, you be coming on when I don't have time, man. You be coming on when I don't have time to get in contact with you, man.
It's all good.
But hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, check this out, man. This here, what we don't talk about, you have pointed out a lot of things, man, in your telecast. And one of the things we say, we should ask this question. We talked about Mike McCarthy's resume, and his resume is probably one of the best resumes because he won a Super Bowl, done played in the NFC Championship game, has been in the playoffs a lot, right?
Right.
And he put his resume on the table, and we talking about a guy that's going to lead this team to a Super Bowl, but we pay him as the second lowest paid coach in the NFL.
Break it down.
He only makes $4 million a year, Law.
Whew.
Don Staley makes $7 million.
Whew.
He's the second lowest paid coach in the NFL. Our coaching staff as a total, when you take all their salaries, is one of the lowest coaching staff salary-wise in the NFL and been that way for a long time.
And there's no salary cap as it relates to coaching, so there you
we
go.
Don't value coaches.
We don't.
Because what your owner said back a long time ago, he said the statement that got him and Jimmy Johnson in trouble. He said if I put talent on this team, I can find 500 guys that can coach it.
Yeah.
And he has never left that philosophy since then. He may have gotten off it a little bit with Parcells because he was at the bottom of the league 5-11 3 years in a row. But if he stays at the middle or somewhere at the top, he believes in that philosophy. We talk about linebacker.
Man,
I have always said, Law, you heard me say this 1,000 times. Two of the greatest coaches in NFL history always said that good players can't take bad coaching. And if you keep the same linebackers coach in here and he hadn't been fired yesterday or Sunday, then you're telling me that you got to bring in here guys, or bring some guys that can coach themselves, basically, because I know word from the real word from inside that they didn't respect him at all.
Yeah, I mean, when you start saying those things, Coach, you open up my third eye even more to this whole thing, because when you start talking about like why we are an undisciplined team, and we can look at the players, we can see the talent, but it goes all the way back to I got an X5 BMW. That doesn't mean just because it's a good automobile that my daughter can drive it, right? You still got to have the understandings of that. And when you have a guy like was the guy Scott McCurley, you have a guy by the name
his assistant is
Darian Thompson. When you have Dirty, I talked to a dude that literally trained players, and he said, "Hey man, every offseason I got to train them even harder to untrain them from the negative things that they done learned from them." And if you really do your reports on Dirty, yeah, he's a good dude, right? But he don't have a lot of experiences, right? He's just a good story, right? His story is nothing different than a Deuce Vaughn, right? Then you look at Jeff Blasco, you look at Solari, who's long in the tooth. We do have a lot of low-graded coaches on this team that we were expecting for these guys to deliver. But keep going, Coach.
Because we pick coaches like we pick free agents. Because we pick guys that's maybe been scarred, that may not be in the light no more, and we get them, and we can get them here for low budget. Because Dirty is taking his salary is probably the lowest defensive line coach in the NFL by far, because he needed a break. All these guys, then you look at the assistants under the other support staff's assistants. If you look at their bios, a lot of these guys in their first year, you're trying to be a Cowboys organization, which I don't have no problem with doing it in the draft.
Yeah.
But you're trying to do it, and you're not giving them the best resources available coaching-wise, because when I always say it shows in the biggest moments. It don't show during the regular season.
Yeah.
It shows in the start and the big moments. And this is what I say about you made a point about coaches. We talking about we want Dan Quinn out here. The Cowboys don't want Dan Quinn out of here. Why? Who in the hell you going to get to come here to coach under a coach that's got a good, that's going to coach with a coach on a 1-year deal?
On a 1 year,
the standard for coaches is 3-year deals. You're not going to come here to coach with a coach that's supposed to be the leader on a 1 year
on
deal.
On a 1 year deal, yeah.
Tell me, people in the nation.
Yeah.
Do your research.
And this is what
lame duck status and what.
And let me say this too. And shout out to you, Kelly Price, man. We love you. But here's the thing. And I'm not trying to blame coaching, but how much can these players on the richest team possible, right? The most valued team possible. How much can our linebackers truly learn from Darian Thompson? You know, I'm just saying, Kelly Price, and I hate to throw us off kilter. I shouldn't have been reading the comments, Coach Marv. But there's only a cap limit that Darian Thompson, who played in the National Football League, granted, I'm not trying to put him in a bubble, but there's only so much that he can teach a linebacker that's on the NFL level, that a spot that he didn't even play. Right.
That's the truth. And I got two more points, Lord. I know you got to get people.
Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
When the Cowboys are selling us the arrogance,
right?
This is arrogance. We think that the Cowboys think that we are privileged as fans. Right. Players are privileged as players, and coaches are privileged as coaches, just to be a part of their brand. Mm-hmm. And they don't need to respect. We are privileged. There has never been a player a star player in Dallas history that has asked out. Never. That have thrown on that podium and said, I want to be traded. Even Emmitt Smith, when he didn't say I wanted out. Yeah. There has never been a player that said, I want out. And they don't believe that no one could ever say, because we are the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. When you get a guy with a resume of Mike McCarthy, and he takes $4 million, 5 years, $20 million, $4 million a year, and he's the lowest paid coach in the league, and then he sits up there and be on a lame duck status, do we think he has the mentality or the confidence in himself or the respect for himself based off his resume to be the lowest paid coach in the NFL, in the richest organization in sports?
Ooh.
Do we think he can stand and lead men? You think he can stand up in that room and lead men? This ain't about no X's and O's. It's about the mentality of the organization and how they value stuff.
Man.
And if they don't value the right structure, and they do not value football first, free agents out there know that they're not coming here because of money. They know you're not going to get paid, but they know that this organization is not about football first.
Man,
that's why they don't come here.
And before I let you go, Coach Marv, that's a great point, because sometimes I would shy away from someone if they don't value themselves. Like if there's an open contract to do some work around my crib or what have you, and they shoot it too low, I'm sitting here like, because I'm not finna do that. I would rather pay at market or above than someone who will give it to me just super low, because they got some things that they are hiding, And I know some people say you can walk away from your blessings that way, but that let me know that you don't just value yourself that much. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that is sticky though, Coach.
If your fans don't believe me, Law, I'm gonna send you the message on Twitter. You click on the link, it'll pull up the 5 highest paid coaches in the NFL and the 5 lowest paid coaches in the NFL in 2023. And you will see it, they will see it, they will see who's at that top 5,
right,
and who is at the bottom 5. And the only lowest paid coach is the Cleveland Browns coach, and he's only making $400,000 less than Mike McCarthy.
Yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate you. I'm gonna click on that one, man. Appreciate you, Coach.
I'm finna send you now. All right.
No doubt. And that is kind of also a double negative connotation
The
because
conference has been locked.
also within the confines of that, it's not like Coach Mike McCarthy is only the head coach. He also absorbed some of that stuff as far as being the play caller. So, wow. And, you know, if we get more out of this situation by a coach being 12-5, 12-5, 12-5, and he's the lowest paid coach, from the Cowboys' eyes, they are winning because they said, man, we paying less because the salary cap is only for the NFL to share that money, right, with the salary cap. But what you pay for the coaches, it come out of your own pocket. There's no cap to that. So you can't give me, I would pay anything. It's nothing on this planet that I would do to win the Super Bowl and then say, well, I'm going to go to the cheapest route possible. Nah, you can't do it that way, y'all. And it goes back to this whole conversation right here that I had just yesterday. And I know this old news, but this fits right in line. It's always been over control. And granted, even though it could be a situation and scenario that we can say that, yes, Stephen Jones is running this thing, but the system of control is still the issue here.
And at a table, and Jimmy was at the head and presiding. Much alcohol has been consumed.
All this over a 2-point conversion?
Hardly. All this because Cowboys coach Jimmy Johnson abruptly left the owners' meetings. Johnson told the Dallas Morning News he was reassessing his future with the Cowboys, following comments Jones made late Monday night suggesting he might fire his coach.
The night before, on an off the record, I basically, which is something that I do quite often, toss a lot of things around, and that was one of them, but that wasn't given any serious consideration on my part.
But does that mean that you're going to lie?
And besides off the record, there were men and women around that were not reporters. And how did they take off the record? The reason I came to the Cowboys is I wanted to be able to control personnel.
What may have gotten Johnson's craw was that Jones even mentioned a possible successor, Barry Switzer, a rival from Jimmy's college days at Oklahoma State.
When he said Barry Switzer, man, I laugh. I chuckle when I was editing that part right there. I would say this, though. It doesn't mean that we are doomed. That doesn't mean that we can't win. But the likely and the possibilities of us seeing the small things happening is going to be harder. So here's my solution to this. Run game. Get you some defensive guys in the house. And even if we were to run this back with Dan Quinn, we can clearly say to ourselves, with better linebacker play, we will at least establish that physical nature and that physical presence that could be beneficial to us. I have 843. Then I have my guy Darius. So the 843. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix? Talk to me.
Hey, I'm Jakira from South Carolina.
Shout out to South Carolina, Jakira, right? With a J. Let me put you in there. Jakira, talk to me.
And I've been trying to get on for like 2 weeks, but I'm going to make this real short. And I'm 36 years old, and I've been a fan all my life. It's a family tradition that goes from generation to generation.
Okay.
Number one, the organization, your platform is the best out of everything, Facebook,
I appreciate it.
YouTube is the best.
Appreciate
Number one, I think the Dallas Cowboy organization really needs to prioritize what's more important. And y'all kind of touched on it earlier about making football number one.
Mm-hmm.
If they get their mentality and vote up their discipline and not be so set on social media and worry about what's in front of them instead of what's behind them.
Right.
I think it'll be a whole better environment. And this is the first year I think I really see Dallas Cowboys be so much exposed, like so much different things has came out of.
You know what, Jakira? You know what's going on? You know what's going on? You know what's going on. Here's what's going on.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
that Cat Williams. Cat Williams, and it's 2024, the year of exposure. But keep going, Jakira. Keep going. Woo, you cooking that. Come on with it.
And it's like, I'm sitting here like CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott brother, and Michael Parsons brother. Like, where were y'all when the record was 12-5 for the past 3 years? Michael Parsons and CeeDee Lamb and Dak was there, and y'all don't have this energy. Like, where are y'all? Where's the same energy that y'all had when we were winning? But at the same time, the owners and that, I think, should have had to address them and let them know to not come on these platforms bashing the team, because that looks bad and it sounds bad coming from their family members.
Yeah.
And it makes the Dallas Cowboys fans feel like, dang, should I really still be a Dallas Cowboy fan or what? Because this organization just feels like a fraud.
Yeah.
And I watch every game besides Dallas Cowboys. I watch other games too, and I see how the coaches commit to their players, and they really get on their players. Like, I really don't see they claim brotherhood.
Yeah.
But if y'all really claim brotherhood, how is it possible for y'all to just put one person on this as a blame? Because everybody is to blame. Defense, defense, offense, coach, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, just like Baba Dub said, the grandson, the granddaughter, the whole family.
Right, the whole
family. The whole organization, and nobody is stepping up. And seems like that first playoff game was like a fluke. Like, it seemed like as soon as they came out on the field, it was like nothing. You didn't even feel no good energy at that game. Like, watching the game, no energy. And it's like, where's the mentality? Where's the motivation? I really think they need to go to God and pray.
Hey, I appreciate you. Just get it off your chest. I appreciate you for calling in. They saying Chucktown. I guess that's the verbiage for where you at. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call it. Chucktown. Okay. Okay, that's what it is. So all I can say is, Jakira, just hold tight with us. I'm gonna try to give you some fair and balanced stuff over here and some therapy as much as possible. But we're gonna call a spade a spade. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling in.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Let's go. It's Jakira. You know, good call from her. What we gonna do here? I'm supposed to be getting a call here in a few for a business meeting. I don't know when exactly he gonna call, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay live up until that point. So if it's a hard cutoff, it's because I gotta jump on a call. But outside of that, man, we gonna freestyle all the way up to that point. So I got Darius, and then I have DMV, and then we have Coach AJ. Darius, man, you're live on The Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix, man. Talk to me, bro.
Well, when I was 10, I moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
And I stayed in Atlanta all the way up until I was 22. Came back to Dallas. And I'm going to let you know right now, in Atlanta, they don't like that. So I don't mean to go ahead and burst the bubble, but they don't like Dak in Atlanta. I'm telling you right now, they don't. And all that 12-5 back-to-backs, they ain't trying to hear that. They are starving for a Super Bowl in Atlanta. Now 12-5 for 1 year, that's cool.
They have parade.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But they are going to start breaking that 12-5 season down. What the hell is happening?
Okay.
They're not just gonna go for that 12. I'm telling you, right? That's how this gonna go.
So it won't be no forever I love Atlanta. Forever I love Atlanta. You know, it won't be that. It's gonna be that. Yeah.
But if the city of Atlanta they are winners in Atlanta. Like, if you just know, like, the culture of Atlanta, they gonna ride for you.
Where the Braves? That's it. What else they win?
No, I'm talking about the people, man.
Oh, the people.
I'm talking about the actual people. Like, they are winners. Like, this black. It's all about black excellence. Yeah, they ain't having that shit. Like, so that's why in Atlanta, like, You know, if the team ain't winning, ain't nobody finna show up. You know what I'm saying? You got to be winning in order for the stadium. The stadium damn near used to be empty. They was giving out free tickets when Atlanta when the Hawks sucked. I used to get free tickets for the Hawks. It used to be just me and my mama. You know what I'm saying? But other way, I mean, outside of that, I just want to let y'all know that, like, hey, they ain't finna go for that shit in Atlanta. Like, I'll just let you know. And then secondly, Jim Harbaugh, I'm telling you, Jim Harbaugh will win the Super Bowl with the Chargers. We dropped the ball not picking up Jim Harbaugh. The Cowboys, they moved too damn slow. They should have picked up Harbaugh. And I'm telling you, I'm not the one that's going to always say, oh, the Cowboys, we going to the Super Bowl. We finna win the Super Bowl. The day that we would have picked up Harbaugh, I would have came on Law Nation the next day and said, we going to the Super Bowl with Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, here's what I'm going to say. This is about Jim Harbaugh finna have the best quarterback he ever had.
And by the way,
he had Colin Kaepernick. He took Kaepernick to the Super Bowl.
Boy,
so
you took the words right out of my mouth, Law. If Jim Harbaugh would have been the coach of this team, let me tell you what he would have did. If he didn't feel like Dak was doing it for him, guess what he would have did to Dak? Dak ass would have been on the bench. I'm not saying that that's what I agree with. I'm just telling you, he's not having that shit. Dak would have been on the bench, and he would have started Trey Lance.
I think that Jim.
If Trey Lance couldn't do it, he would have drafted another quarterback.
I think that Jim would have been able to get the most out of Dak Prescott, though. Even though Mike McCarthy's getting the most out of Dak Prescott, by the way, too. But I think that Jim, he actually played in the league or what have y'all. And what was Jim's quality? He was a short to intermediate thrower of the ball. He never had a strong arm. And I think that Jim would have brought some of those nuances to the game. I think that he would have been able to be more aligned with some of the college players that's coming out, just like remember when Jimmy Johnson came out or what have you, to the pros or what have you. He knew all of the players that was coming into the draft or coming out of the draft because he recently covered them and scouted them. So, yeah, I think that's going to be a type of fact. I think that the Harbaugh, he's going to be just like his brother. If they don't win the Super Bowl, at least they be in the competition of it every year.
Oh, you better talk that. You better talk that freaking talk, Law. That's what you know it. We right on the same page. My last point.
Go ahead.
My last point. The whole draft analyzation type of thing. Listen, I feel like with the Mozzie pick, I feel like we probably should have drafted him in the second round because the first round draft pick should be dedicated for players that walk on water. If you don't feel like the player is gonna flat out ball his first season, bro, don't pick them. Don't pick them. Either draft up or draft back, but don't stay lukewarm in between and get like a guy that's gonna be like a long project. You don't want to do that in the first round. Save all those projects for the later rounds, or just draft back. You feel me? So that's just my whole thing. I feel like we drafted Schoonmaker way too early. I'm not saying we shouldn't have drafted him. I'm saying you drafted him way too soon. People, you drafted him too soon, and I think you kind of drafted Mozzie Smith a little too soon also. But this season, just don't make the same mistake, and we won't have a repeat of the same year last year. That's it.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you for calling in. For those who didn't really pretty much follow the draft content stuff, it was weird to me because when we picked Mozzie, I literally thought that we were going to go with a different type of approach there. I'm always team defense though, but I literally was going back and forth with my guy OPOY on Mozzie versus not the Jalen Carter guy, but it was another guy who played for Pitts. His name is the tip of my tongue. I think he got drafted by the Buccaneers or what have you way before we even got a chance to even get him. But I had Mozzie more with the 58 pick. And the reason why I know that, because he wore 58. There's a video of me and Ashley Baker saying that, hey, in the second round, the Cowboys got the 58 pick. We're going to draft this guy, Mozzie. And I thought that he was Kalaja Cansey. That was his name. Let me see. What did Cansey do this year? He probably had a worse year than Mozzie. I don't know. Let me see. I could have been wrong on Cansey, man. Let me see what he did this year. Cansey, bear with me. Kalijah Cansey. Let's see what he did this year. He probably redshirted. I don't know. He probably didn't even translate it over. Let me see. Oh, I mean, for what it's worth, he didn't grade out well, but he gave you 4 sacks from the interior, 20 solos, 3 assists. So I'm not finna compare him to Mozzie. Those are 2 different kind of caliber of players. But I looked at Kalijah Cansey of a John Randall type. I looked at him more of a guy that we can add into the mix. If he got 4 sacks his rookie year, I can see this guy down the line be an average of maybe 8 to 10 sacks from the interior. He can be the mold of a John Randall. And Cansey was balling in the playoff. Yeah. So I'm not finna say that this is going to be a ceiling. I think that the kid is going to be even better next season. I think that Kalijah Cansey, he can build off of that and perform. And next year he's going to be that dude that can give you probably 8 to 10 sacks a season from the interior. His get off is crazy. He's already collectively is giving you Osa numbers, right? Osa give you about 3 to 4 sacks a season. So, and a lot of people was comping him to Osa because they are smaller guys or what have you. But, that's water under bridge now, man. I hope that they look at Mozzie and say, hey, here's a ham sandwich, here's some creatine mix, man, and some peanut butter. Let's get you back to being about 340, 350. I have DMV George, man. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks from the 240. You're live. Talk to me, man.
What's going on, What's going on?
Hey, man, all is well. Can't complain, bro. Can't complain.
Hey, I'm just gonna before I get into my points, I'm gonna address what the last caller said about not taking Mozzie in the first round and drafting and developing in the first round, and not winning production out of the your first round pick in the first year. I mean, look what happened with Jordan Love, CeeDee Lamb, Patrick Mahomes. I think that's a bad way to approach first round draft picks and view them. And not saying that I like the production that we got out of Mozzie this year,
right?
But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the blame him or to blame that draft pick is gonna be can I have a feeling that's gonna turn out to be a bad take because I don't know. I feel like by his trajectory level, of his career path, he'll probably end up giving us some good quality years. If not, I mean, he might turn out to be the next Tristan Hill. But I feel like that's definitely not the place to start. I feel like we need to start looking at finding a winning formula. Our winning formula going into last year was we're going to fire Kellen Moore and then start running the ball more, right? And then we switch up mid-year. And everybody, when we fire Kellen Moore, we're not going to be the highest scorer offense. I still believe that because Dak Prescott, his game style is he throws a lot of red zone passes, we score a lot of points, that we're going to continue to be a high scoring offense. And nobody believed me at the start of the year, and we would end up being the highest scoring offense again. Without Mike McCarthy losing Zeke, and the year before we lost Amari Cooper. So I think that if we go into this next year with a winning formula of having game control, running the ball late in the season, like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they're getting high production out of their running backs because they're still giving them 18, 20 carries a game or getting 18, 25 rushing attempts in these playoff games in December and January, and getting high production and game control out and clock management out of these running backs. So I feel like if we can go into our next season, having a set plan, and I mean I acknowledge that as the caller said before, I think it was Coach Marv talking about our coaching payment. I never even realized it was that big of a discrepancy with other teams, and that's kind of outrageous. So I mean, hey man, it's going to be hard to hire high quality coaches from these different coaching trees. Especially that can coach the defense. So I guess our best bet if Dan Quinn does somehow get a job is Al Harris, because I feel like Al Harris is probably one of the most promising coaches that we have in house. I feel like we all can agree on that. And I feel like just going forward, we pressure matters, like you said earlier. I feel like there's no way you go 12-5 3 years in a row and say pressure doesn't matter, because all the teams that have had 12 or more wins 3 years in a row all have been to a championship, NFC, their conference championship or Super Bowls. So I feel like, you know, the fact that we are the Dallas Cowboys does mean something, and I feel like we can't like support the idea that it doesn't, that we're just another ordinary team, because I feel like that's how you get performances like we just had.
Yeah, I think that, you know, we got to have that difference maker as far as preparation and preparing, and it hits me, man, what Coach Marv said, and it brings in a lot of validation, because I would get it if only like one unit looked bad, like for example, if only Dak Prescott looked bad, but the entire team looked bad, the special teams, the defensive teams, the offensive teams, and then we break those down into individualized units. The linebacker unit looked bad. The safety team unit didn't look like they were up to snuff. The defensive front didn't look like they could stop a nosebleed. Running backs, the offensive line, even though, you know, I gave Jeff Blasco some grievance there. He had death in the family for the first 4 or 5 weeks that can hit you a whole different way. I get all of that, right? But when times were able to subside, we didn't get really nothing from him when he came back to the team. I get what Mike Solari had to do, right? Even Nate Newton, we had a show that Coach Maul pointed out about what Big Nate said about Mike Solari, that by us not having two-a-days, right, and not being able to get these guys on the same page with a new offensive line theory or scheme is going to take time, in which he was right. We had a lot of hiccups with Mike Solari and trying to implement a whole new scheme. So all of those all of those are still excuses, right?
Of course. I feel like Mike Solari also didn't get the chance to run his scheme, because this pulling guard, like running out of shotgun, pulling your guard every time you want to run, is not his scheme. He's a zone run downhill. That's what he did in Seattle, and that's what he excelled at. And, you know, I mean, we came along late in the season really getting them behind in shotgun, especially in that Washington game, which really didn't mean much. But we really got under center and got to our zone run scheme. I mean, but obviously that doesn't matter. It didn't matter in the playoffs, because we're not doing it we didn't do it in the playoffs at all, because, you know, the point differential.
Right.
But I feel like that wasn't his scheme. I can't evaluate Mike Solari that accurately, because I don't believe that he wanted to line up in shotgun every play and pull Tyler Smith or pull Zach Martin, because we have the two best guards in the league. And it didn't work, knowing that we have the two best guards in the league. But I feel like if we can implement some different type of run scheme, and maybe a different running back that could probably execute the scheme better, maybe it could be a different result. But I feel like saying that it's all going to be on Dak and putting it all on Dak is going to be, you know, it's going to result in another year. And I feel like we're all going to feel that.
Yes, indeed. We're going to feel it, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in, man. DMV, man. That's my guy.
No problem.
DMV George, man. Good call from him. Very accurate with his analysis and his points there. It is what it is. Just to be real, with what Coach Marv sent, I got the information that he sent over. It says Sportskeeda, NFL, how much money? And then it says second, number 2, Mike McCarthy, Dallas is $4 million in 2020. Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys agreed to a 5-year deal, reportedly earned only $4 million. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I ain't earning $4 million over here. That's a lot of coins. $4 million would set me straight right about now. But that's the second lowest in the NFL, and he tagged my guy, Boss Cowboy Sports. So if I click on this link, all right, disable your ad block, continue without disabling. How about that? And all right, and let's see what we got right here. Overall posting, I don't know why it looked like that, so I know I can fix it. Hold on, bear with me. Yeah, y'all can feel free to email me too, though, even though my email dropped up there. It's not a private email, so y'all feel free to email me at anytime at lawnations.com or lawnations@gmail. Over the past 3 decades, the average value of an NFL team has increased from over $100 million to $4.14 billion. The average coaching salary has increased to $300,000 to $6 million in that period. Contrary to players, the NFL head coaching salaries are not subject to salary cap, and most coaches have long contracts. A coach receives extensions before the contract expire and team perform well. Okay, they break that down, but not to keep my guy that's been on hold for forever any longer. Hold tight for a few seconds here and let me get my guy on right quick, and we would discuss even more. But appreciate y'all, man. Hold tight, and I'm gonna read all of that with my hooked on phonic eyes. Y'all bear with me, man. I got Coach, not Marv, but Coach AJ here, man, from the 316. You're in the mix, brought to you by Prize Picks, man. Talk to me, Coach.
Well, first of all, you expect bad results when you pay the cheapest of the cheapest, and that's why we get some of those bonehead plays like we jump offside, pre-snap penalties.
Yeah.
Hell, Bone Fossil then must not be getting that much money because he keep allowing the same damn thing. Hey, it's 3rd and 5, and we know we're playing Detroit, and they do a lot of going for it on 4th down.
Right.
The guy will go for it. He is a gambling machine. So why don't you have your guys ready? I mean, it don't take much to say be ready.
Yeah.
But, I mean, these are the small things that's breaking this team. And then the other thing, you hit on a point. Why are we fighting among ourselves? Well, because you don't hear that in New England. Right. You don't hear that out of Pittsburgh. Yeah, they get away with some dumb stuff. That's why receivers do dumb things. But you ain't going to be posting it because he will come down on you. You know?
Yeah.
Here, there's nobody to come down on him and say, hey, Parson, tell your brother to be quiet.
Yeah.
Dak, tell your brother to be quiet. Jerry kind of like all the publicity, whether it's good, bad, and different. He loves it. He's on TV. That's not good.
Not good, yeah.
But the bottom line is you don't crash your whole team. And when you're hearing these people, just like today's discussion, well, guess what? Whether that player or person can better that team by what they got 5, 6 wins, and he get them to 12. Yeah, there's a lot of teams would take that. I know he out here bad mouthing that guy, but hey man, I remember those 8 and 8 years. I remember that 5 and 7, 5 and 5 and 12. It wasn't 12; it was 11. Because we were only doing 16. Dan Campbell days, I mean, it was just bad. Even with Bill Parcells, we wasn't winning. We did not win 3 years in a row. Right. This dude is the only guy to win 3 years in a row. Even with Jimmy Johnson, we did not win 3 years in a row. You know what? We got started, but you got to go through those bumps. Yeah. But it seemed like we can't get over that second round. First of all, we couldn't get past Tom Brady. Well, we finally put an end to Tom Brady.
Yeah, we did.
That dude played out of his mind to put an end to Tom Brady. If Tom would have thought he could have came back and got another W this year, he'd have been back in here.
Yeah, Tom Brady, man. He figure out ways, man.
But I do agree with you guys that we have to change some things. But Bill Harbaugh bros don't want to come here and get coached up. He's going to yell at somebody. Jerry ain't going to let you. Jerry ain't going to let you yell at somebody.
Yeah.
It's not Jerry, it's Steven.
Jerry and Steven are considered like the good parents, right? Don't yell at my kid over there now,
No.
Harbaugh
will yell at his players.
You spit at him.
Do that.
Yeah.
But I do think that so if you want to beat these teams, detract from those teams. Go out there and get some of their players. But if we ain't going to pay the coach, get some of the players. But don't put up with the nonsense when they get here.
Yeah. I mean you right. Shoot. Coach, you're right.
I remember when we did get Randy Moss, because the four-letter network bad-mouthed us because we were that team that partied too much. Randy Moss, he can't go to Dallas. Dallas can't take him. That's how dumb we were at that time.
Right.
We should have took him and brought him to town and said, hey, do your job,
Mm-hmm.
But we can't say that no more. It's like we're stuck back in the past. We're living in the past, and we got to punish everybody for what we did in the past. They don't say nothing. Detroit took 30-some years. What about Washington? They ain't been in no playoffs that much. You don't think they wouldn't mind having a quarterback that can win?
Yeah.
Hey, even New York Giants wouldn't mind having a quarterback that can get 12-5. All it takes is for you to get on a 4-game winning streak, and you could be just like the Giants when they were 9-7.
You're right, boy.
It's embarrassing, but hey, you guys act like we're gonna win them all. We can't. We don't have that.
Yeah.
But what I do want to say is, hey, we got to get a running back. We got to get a line. Our interior line got to be better. We got to be better. And starting with Zach Martin, he can't take the money and then play half.
Yeah.
You got to play this year. I want to hear him coming back next year tomorrow. I want more money. Nobody. He gets a blessing at all times. I wish everybody treated all the players alike. Hey, whether you don't think Dak's good or not, well, he's top 3 in every category. I guess somebody must think it.
Somebody would take him.
Lying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I want us to get a Pat Mahomes.
Right.
But can you imagine Dallas drafting a quarterback and putting him on the bench for a year and not playing him? Oh, my God, we would crucify that guy.
Yeah.
Look how you doing Mozzie right now.
Yeah, they crucify Mozzie. And then here's the other thing, though, Coach. We got to understand Andy Reid is still Andy Reid. You get some of that when you got a coach like Andy Reid, a guy that can also help develop quarterbacks too. So I don't think that Pat Mahomes will be the same Pat Mahomes under Jason Garrett, though.
No, no. Hey, that's where people keep messing up.
Mm-hmm.
How long did Dak Prescott have Jason Garrett?
Yeah, 4.5 years.
Yeah, that's a long time for bad behavior. If you got one of those baby kids, you can't correct that overnight.
You can't.
You're going to have to keep working on it.
Yep.
You got a bad puppy? It's not going to change overnight. So we got to get this losing ways out of here. Hold on. I'm going to say this again. We're not losers. I'm 12-5. I remember the days of 1-15.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. 1-15, we're not. We're just 12-5. But there was a lot of other teams not at home because what? There was 14 teams out of 32 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that means there's a hell of a lot worse teams. I just can't believe we just don't show up on that day. And it wasn't just the quarterback. They drove the ball down the field for 75, 80 yards. Nobody stopped them. We missed the extra point. We had a penalty on the punt. I mean, it was just so many things. It was like a steam. If you ever been skiing, if you know what I'm talking about, you start the snowball and make it bigger. Well, that's what it was with us. We never got off the bus, and we just kept rolling down the hill.
Man.
Anyway, you be blessed. God bless you and your beautiful family. I like to say is, Cowboys, I'm still going to love this team till the day I die.
Man, let's go with it, man. He's still them boys, man. That's my guy, Coach,
yes, we
man.
Are.
Yes, indeed. That's Coach AJ, man. Great conversation with him.
Goodbye.
Yes, indeed. We still them boys, y'all. And as much as we can dog Greg Ellis, guess where he's at the all-time sack leader for the Cowboys? Guess where he's at? Because a lot of people, man. Guess where Greg Ellis at? Ranking.
Them boys, I'm still them boys.
What is it? For those who don't know, man, Greg Ellis is ranked 3rd all-time in Cowboys history in sacks. 3rd all-time. So I mean, he only got DeMarcus Ware and Jim Jeffcoat ahead of him, right? So if D-Law can end up having the DeMarcus, not if D-Law can have the end of the Greg Ellis type of career, we'll be blessed. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So salute to. I think Jim Jeffcoat is still ahead of Greg Ellis, though. But Greg Ellis, for what he was able to bring for the Cowboys, is still better than what we have in the last 10 to 15 years, even with the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? That's down here. And shout out to D-Law, and I think my guy Parsons is like fourth, like seventh or eighth on that list, even in his only few years here. So it is what it is. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that Greg Ellis was better than Randy Moss, but it goes to show you that those are the things that it looks like. All right, hold tight for me. I got a phone call. Hold on. All right, I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I can't cut to commercials. You know how it goes. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. All right, so he says here, this is what Coach Marv sent me, and I'm going to see if I can share this with all of y'all that's in the chat here. Appreciate y'all. All right, and boom, let me see. Yeah. That's the link right there. And you guys can play around with it however you want. But it says here, contrary to players, NFL head coaches' salaries are not subject to salary cap, and most coaches have a long contract. Coaches receive an extension before the contract expires. Then they go into details here. I'm just going to paraphrase. Who are the top 5 earning head coach? Damn. Patriots paid $20 million for Bill Belichick? All right, Sean Payton, 18, Pete Carroll, 15, Sean McVay, 14, Mike Tomlin, 12, okay, and then Matt LaFleur, 5, Robert Saleh, 5, Zach Taylor, 4.5, Mike McCarthy, and then Kevin is 3.5. So I guarantee you, when Bill Belichick was like, oh yeah, I'll come to Dallas, and I'll look coach at Dallas, and then they said, okay, here's our offer. Then Bill Belichick looked at that thing like that and said, I think about it. I really appreciate y'all so much. And both of those guys are not fired, right? But I'm quite sure they're getting paid based off of past experiences. Those guys are long in the tooth. Yeah, those guys are long in the tooth. I think they all in their 70s. I think that even Pete Carroll older than Bill Belichick. So, and then Sean Payton is probably one of the younger guys out of that grouping that's getting paid $18 million. And right now, it look like he don't know what he's doing. But do money correlates to success? I can tell you money correlates to the expectations. I would say that aspect out of it. Out of that list of all of those guys that's getting paid good money, I think a lot of people would look at Sean McVay and say, okay, 14.4, yeah, that's something that you would like to have. And if you had a Super Bowl in the last 4 or 5 years, you can mention Sean McVay's name. So outside of that, man, also the levels of expectations also leave you with this. Who on that staff that you will hold a little bit more accountable to, because here's how I look at it too. With Bill Belichick on that list being paid the highest, What comes with Bill Belichick? Leadership. What also come with it? Expectations of going to the Super Bowl. Discipline. Your staffing that's around you, right? Surrounding your guys around that aspect of it. No nonsense guys. So those are other things that you will have to embody there. So the family of the Joneses, man, there's no salary cap as it relates to coaching. You absolutely pay for what you get. Yeah. My guy Asmodi said, Bill Belichick, you must be out of here. Yeah. Jeez. Yes, indeed. Wait a minute. Yeah. I got you for $20 million, you know.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Y'all saw that 20 of them, you know. God, dog. But then again, you got to add into some of that. That's some hush money, man. You don't think that – you think Robert Kraft had that massage thing that was going on over there? You don't think Bill Belichick knew what was going on? Come on. Hey, man, the NDA don't expire to X, Y, and Z, but I'll keep you on for so long. You know what I'm saying? Hey, as long as you – because, you know, he had the same thing that allegedly. Don't come after me, Robert Kraft and them. I don't have no long money, man, like that. But, you know, when that massage thing happened to him, hey, Bill Belichick was there. Shoot. All right, well, Bill Belichick was just wise. All right, and they're going to be an extra $5 million, though. Yeah, they're going to be an extra $4 million. They're going to be an extra. So he earned that money. Y'all think I'm lying? Shoot, he knows some stuff, man. He know what was on the other side of them spy tapes. Yes, indeed. So yeah, he had to be the highest paid coach. Yeah. Shoot, it's just how it is. Those are not all by coincidence, man. Shoot, Sean Payton knows something. Sean Payton knows something out there, man. Yeah, well, that's going to cost you this amount of money for me to be coaching here. I'll take a year off. You know, think about all of that allegations and stuff like that with even Sean Payton. You remember he was the only team. He's the only team to change the whole ruling of the pass interference. Hey, we're going to start diving into this money side of it, man. Let me see. Pete Carroll, he got some stuff that he knows, man. Pete Carroll knows something about something, man. Yes, indeed. So, all right. Okay, all right. Cool. So, we not going to run it with beast mode? Oh, okay, all right. Yeah. All right, shoot. Mike Tomlin, man, the Rooney Rule and all that stuff. Yeah. Oh, okay, all right. You don't want me to talk too much on it? Okay. You better keep me here for I'm messing with y'all, man. Don't y'all come after me, man. And the retorts. Yeah. In the shades, man. Yeah. Y'all better be watching out, man. Follow the money. Yes, indeed, man. Shout out to you, Sheila Neal. And shout out to you, John Long. Appreciate all of y'all, man. We at the tail end of all of this. We already went through all of the phone lines and everything. Coop D says Dak for MVP. I feel you, man. We already went over that for those who just not tuning in. I got another video that's coming out a little later on today, and it's still in the editing processing. And it's a breakdown of what we talked about a little bit with Michael Parsons and Jesse Holley for what he said. Y'all let me know, man, or should I hold on to this one and not squeak this one out because of the temperature around the Cowboys right now? Because Jesse, he's saying that, you know, Parsons is the most selfish player in the National Football League. Let me just play this right quick.
Biggest gripe at Micah Parsons is Micah Parsons, to me,
right?
This is just Jesse Holley, is probably the most selfish player on this football team. One of the reasons why Micah Parsons does not want to play linebacker, it's too much of a responsibility.
Oh, wow. Definitely more responsibility for sure.
I got to study harder. I gotta now look at keys and formations and all that. See when Micah get lined up and just go get the quarterback, and I'm not calling them a dumb player. I'm
Right,
not calling
right,
them dumb at all.
True.
There's no thinking in that. That's pure natural instincts.
Mm-hmm.
You saw in the game when Mike had to drop back in coverage, fish out of water. He didn't know where to turn. He didn't know where to look, right? And even when Micah plays off the ball, he ain't reading nothing. He's just going. He's just going.
All right, so that's a little snippet of that right there. Here's my thoughts on this, and I think Jesse breaks it down even more into that clip there. The whole conversational piece, do you think Micah Parsons is selfish? I don't think that he is. I think that Micah Parsons is a beast. I think that he is a young kid that they have unbelievable talent, that he can play off the edge, and right now he's 7th in Cowboys history in sacks already. So next season he might be all the way ranked 5th all time or 4th all time. Just how quickly he has made it up to those rankings there. So you get a weaponized weapon, if you can put those two words together, out of a Parsons. But we have a big glaring hole on linebacker, which we drafted Parsons to be a linebacker. He just somehow better at getting to the ball than our other edge rushers. But he's terrible in certain facets of the game, right? Like run support and these sorts of things. So what I'm saying is utilize Parsons all over the field. Don't just use him and paint him into a corner to be just only an edge rusher, right? So that's how I look at it. And we're going to have that video all together in a few. But I'm going to tell y'all, we do look for solutions here. I'm not just talking just be talking. That's also one. Hey, man, we need some solutions. Well, the solution would be, well, you know you can get 12 to 13 sacks from Parsons on the edge, right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We know those things. We know that the other players going to give you, like D-Law, great run support. We know that either Armstrong is going to give you 6 or 7 sacks a season. Fowler, if you bring him back or keep him, what have you, he's going to give you that same amount of production. And somebody can make the argument that, hell, if you put more and more Fowler out there, maybe he can give you 7 to 8 opposed to 6 or 7 or 5 or 6. So what can we do? Find a linebacker. That's all they do is play the mic. That's not versatile enough to play on the edge and shoot through A gaps and B gaps. I just need me a pure linebacker to put in the middle of the field. Well, Law, why are you bending to Parsons' ruling? Because Parsons is not a pure only Mike linebacker. And until we look ourselves in the mirror and say that and see that, then we, as fast as we can move on from that. So we're going to comb through the draft. We're going to look for that linebacker and just find a pure linebacker that you can put in the middle of the field. 2 straight years, Law Wagner. Yeah. But now, damn, Wagner going to be a long tooth. He was a long tooth then. He going to be even longer tooth. Well, let's go get Bobby in them then. Go get Bobby Wags, man. Yeah. That would be my thoughts there, ladies and gentlemen. I know some people yelling, well, go get a quarterback. We would have been okay with a different quarterback. If we had Pat Mahomes on this team, we would still need a running back. If we had Pat Mahomes on this team, we would still need a linebacker. If we had, what's smooth name, Josh Allen, we would still talk about we need a linebacker. I heard earlier this week that they said Josh Allen need more weapons. I'm sitting there like, wow, They talking bad like Stephon Diggs trash. You know what I'm saying? They said, hey, Stephon Diggs blew the game. Not Trip Aces, but my guy Keith Floyd says Cowboys have missed on linebacker in the draft every year. Yeah. I feel you, man. We just been snake bitten by linebackers, man. I think it goes back to that old Murphy Law. The year that I love that linebacker that we had from Alabama, Rolando McClain. I say, man, that's a linebacker for us right there, bro. He was sticking, man. He was hitting and sticking. Bam! You know, and then 2018 we had a splash of the linebacker tandem, Jalen Smith and LVE. That was a good year for us from linebackers position. Sean Lee was always thought the world of Sean Lee. He just never could stay healthy. Yeah. And then one year we had a good duo just like that. We had Sean Lee and Bruce Carter. But then what we did, the very next year, we got rid of Bruce Carter. We were like, dang, come on, Cowboys. Don't fight that. Keep Bruce Carter. Both of those linebackers kept getting hurt, but at least it was yin and yang with each other, you know. What year we had good linebacker? Dat Wynn, Ken Norton. That's way back in the 90s, though. And Dat Wynn was after Ken Norton, but I'm trying to think of all the years we had. Hollywood, that was the year we had a good linebacker. What year we had the smaller linebacker that was here? What was his name? It's tipping my tongue. Was it Dexter Coakley? My mind's slipping me. But, yeah, we just never had that long stay with linebackers, y'all. You know. Dexter Coakley. Yeah. We need another linebacker era, man. Yeah, Dexter Coakley, yeah. Boy, he was sticking and hitting, wasn't he? Sticking and hitting. Cow. The Manster. Tell you, man, Jalen Smith was good for us for one good year, man. He was good, man. Brady James and them, it was decent. Yep, man. So, hey, we'll figure it out, man, down the stretch, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. This was a great episode. I thank those who called in. I thank y'all energy, man. The off season is really where it's at right now. Shout out to my brother, the Twin Maker. If time permits, man, me and him will jump live. We'll go over some things. Eugene, the hit machine, yeah. He was in that bad era with us, though. Then I think he went off to the Patriots. Kevin Brunette. On our way out, ladies and gentlemen, my only thing will be, and I had a conversation before, is when the Cowboys decide to will and deal will be, you know, the only way we can get out of this dark spot. We're going to have to decide to will and deal. We got to release our failures of the fear of us not willing to dance around in the free agency. Last year, we got Brandon Cooks, Stephon Gilmore, and we partied. We're like, we go to the moon, right? We'll start playing the old Future. And all of those boys. We were. And as they say over here,
it's an evil world we live in.
So we're going to have to stand tall and not at all this time, baby. Cowboy Nation. Prize fighter even swings when he knows that all it takes is a puncher's chance. like Jakira said, look, can we figure out a way to get over all of the drama? Can we have Jerry Jones to have a sit down with all of their parents and the family members of the Cowboys staff? I don't know. But I come here to tell y'all, man, that we don't need to do wholesale changes, only a few changes. With quality, not about quantity. If you get some quality stuff in here, some changes can happen. But that's all the time that I have for this moment, man. If there's one thing a man should always do is mainly to himself stay true. Never allow someone to change your point of view unless what they bring or mean makes sense to you. Never judge a man by sight alone, nor by the height he has grown. And when speaking, keep it at a moderate tone, because raised voices turn those hearts into stone. You see, in the beginning, it was, brother, how about those Cowboys? The morals of this life: live, love, and respect for another. Then there are those who will try to be smart. They would take the decent man to alter his heart, to seek to rip him apart. Those mans and those friends and those people that's in the chat, you should never accept them as a friend, because they bend their lives around the truth to meet their end. DC for life, not for short. Let's continue to grind to shine. Baby, let's go. Salute. One love. Roll those credits. Yeah. Thank all of y'all, man. One love. Pull a string and I wink at you. I'm your puppet. That's what Jerry Jones like. He like them puppets, huh? Let's go. MVP Dak, huh? Let's get it. I took that yeah, here we go button off.
Does it better? They can come closer than close, yeah. Original they never will be.
What more do you want from me? All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, know I gave you everything I had. I gave you everything I had.
On my pillow and just relax.
Just relax just a little bit and come on. Don't let him hit you, y'all.
You know it's dangerous to go alone. Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your player too? I'll follow wherever you go, wherever you do. Player too.
If you watched all the way to this point and you didn't hit the like nor share this content,
Shame.
and another one.
And another one.
When you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud.
I think you was the one. 7 wonders all in one.
trolls. They love us too. Riggs.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that.
Until next time, DC for life. And not for short.
If a paper crane
To some people, it's for short though.
then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
I never met a hater doing better than me. Yeah. I never met one. Also, hey, Hot Boy, Hot Boy 95. I feel you, dog. You see, if you only supposed to use the money that you can use, but if you lose money on something that you can't control and complain about it, that's on you. Get your money up. Until next time.
Give me my theme music.
Let's go.
I just wanna run it up. Count a check or something. I've been really in the field, let up. Yeah. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal.
I want to say that because he said, hey, I lost money on this dude. Hey.
Count a check or something. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's where more.
That's what I'm talking about. Justin D is a real one. Cause he ain't gonna cry about the things he lose. I love that. Salute. Let's go, man. Until next time.
Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit.
Peace.